Hello and welcome to Queer Abbey, a weekly chat show that is performed, recorded, and produced by yours truly. Hi everybody and welcome to the 28th episode of Queer Abbey. I am tired as fuck. I'm filming this just right before, the evening before it's going to come out, kind of last minute, and that's because I am done with the school term. I just got off work and I got home and I decided that it's going to be a nice time to reflect on the pod, on this last little chunk of time that I've been in school and doing this podcast and working and doing artistic stuff and everything else that you need to do to stay alive. I've been a busy bitch, to be honest. And it's all been so worthwhile. So it's fantastic. And I appreciate you for tuning in and listening to me while I ramble about the things going on in my life and I try to give advice to people. It means a lot to me that, people even care a little bit about what I have to say. So thank you. I did my last service project day today. This whole term I've been volunteering at a Native youth center. There is this really beautiful garden that's on the outskirts of Portland, and I go there, and for 3 hours every Saturday morning I have to take a bus for a really long fucking time out there. I think I've discussed this briefly on the pod before, but so I take this bus out there, and it's honestly really annoying, but it's worthwhile because it's fulfilling work. And it's this food garden that feeds a whole community of people, which is amazing to me. And it's pretty big. And we do all these sorts of tasks like collecting and weighing the food, and cover cropping, which is where you plant plants that are going to be hardy and condition the soil during the winter time. We did mulching, which has a similar kind of objective. And lots of other stuff too. And I learned, we planted garlic, because garlic gets planted way, way, way early. It needs a bunch of time to sleep. And so a bunch of really cool stuff going on. But it was back-breaking work. Seriously, the moving mulch around for 3 hours. Oh my God. It was kind of fun. I just went all autismo with it. Oh my God, I shouldn't say that. I don't think I have autism, but maybe. Anyway, I was being a weirdo about it, and I was filling in the sections where we needed to mulch, which for those who don't know, mulching is when you take wood bark and wood material and kind of leaves, and I think mostly wood, and it's all crushed up, and you use it to cover the soil so that it sort of insulates it, and it keeps moisture and all of those good nutrients. It locks it into the soil and restores some of it to that soil, and it also keeps the roots that are in the soil from getting too cold, and it forms this protective layer that keeps weeds from growing as well. So it performs all of these sorts of duties. You put it in thick layers everywhere where there's not plants growing. And I don't know the ins and outs of gardening, really. I'm just a novice, but learning some stuff like that made me feel so connected to the earth. And I think that was really the whole point of this capstone, is what it's called, or capstone class. You do 3 hours of a class in person and then 3 hours of a service project in the community. And then I picked this one, and so it was definitely a character building exercise, and all of this to say that I'm glad to be done, because it was a lot of work. After that, I took the bus back home. Although, mind you, it was raining the entire time, and they don't cancel it when it's raining. So I'm moving around this mulch in the pouring rain is an important part. Yeah. So I've been doing this for 10 weeks, and now I am done. I got the 6 credits for that class, and I only have to take, let's see, 6 more classes in total, and then I'll have my degree. I'm almost graduated and done with school. So, yay, Wilson, good job. Things at work have been going fairly smoothly. I work in a place where there's a lot of, I interface with the public a lot, and there's just, lots of crazy people in the world. So by, statistics, I just run into a lot of them. So people are always being rude and out of pocket towards me. But the thing about me is I know how to handle people. When people look at me wrong, it takes me about a split second to figure out what to say to make them shut the fuck up. And I have to hold my tongue sometimes because, yeah, it's not always worth it to like get the last or the best word. Sometimes just smiling and looking at people like they're stupid is all you can really do. But, yeah. I also meet lots of really awesome people at work, It's funny how life is. It's easy to be pessimistic and just think, oh my God, everybody at work is such a bitch. But I actually meet lots of really sweet people. Yeah. I'm so excited to have some actual days off during this school term. I don't even know what to do with myself. Oh, God, I just remembered something. So this happened right before one of my final presentations this week on... what was this, Wednesday. I presented a song that I wrote, which I will be sharing with you all, for my women's studies class. It was about ecofeminism. It was very coincidental with my Indigenous studies, capstone, because we were learning all about the connection between food and the earth and people and their sovereignty in the land, and how all of those things are connected. Even the way that we view women and the way that we view the earth as commodities to be just like sold and used up, and not things to be sewed and worked with, So anyway, I wrote a song and I presented it on Wednesday, but while I was taking a shower, getting ready to go to this presentation, I showered, everything's fine, and I have this glass shower door, and it got stuck, and when I was trying to like force it open, I didn't force it open that hard because it's glass and I'm not that stupid. So I was trying not to break it, obviously, and then I just kind of like give it a little bit of force, and it shattered everywhere into a million pieces everywhere. And okay, actually, trigger warning. I'm going to go on in a little bit of detail, just briefly. I'm going to talk about blood. So, okay. Shards of glass flew the fuck into me. I don't even understand where the force of this came from, but the shattering glass just like speckled itself into my arms and my legs. And the glass, I was standing in the wet bathtub, and all of the glass came in towards me, and then also like everywhere on the bathroom floor, and I was standing in shattered glass, and there was tiny pieces of it just already embedded in my feet and like all over my ankles, and then it cut my finger like really bad. There's a gash in my finger, and my hands were bleeding, my legs were bleeding, and so I had a fucking panic attack while I was standing in the bathroom, and I called my friend, who, God bless them, like helped calm me down, and they were like, okay, like what do you need me to do? Do you want me to call the police? Do you want me to come get you? Like, and I was like, no, it's okay. I just need to like figure out what to do. So I like laid a towel down on the broken glass and like picked the glass out of my feet with tweezers. Ugh. And then got like the glass out of my finger and everything, and I was bleeding, and it was just distressing. There was blood everywhere and glass. It was literally a scene out of a horror movie, like something I would watch. And oh my God, it was terrible. I had this fleeting thing of like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, but it was literally just like little cuts, but the bleeding was a little intense. And so and I fucking like was late to my class, so I'm just like, oh my God, like, well, this is the worst day ever. I got it together though, and I ended up taking a lift instead of taking the bus to save a little bit of time, and I was a little bit late. But yeah, I had to pick all the shrapnel of glass on my feet and like get bandaged up and put alcohol and everything. Luckily, I have like little alcohol wipes and stuff. But yeah, it fucking sucked, and I'm still healing up from it a little bit. There's still little wounds on my toe and like my finger and stuff. So the moral of that anecdote is, if you have a glass shower door, it will fucking break if it gets like stuck and you try to open it. So be careful. That was so scary. I think you should all feel really bad for me. Thank you. Yeah. You know what's sweet though is, at first I texted the maintenance people about it like pretty soon after it happened. I took pictures and I was like, okay, this is like an emergency. Can you help me? And they were like, you know what? Like, we can help you come clean up the glass. And so I like swept it up into a pile and they came and got it for me, which was actually really sweet. I was kind of touched by the fact that they like cared enough to do that. And they brought a shower curtain and everything like the same day. So you know what? Thank you, apartment people. I've had annoyances in the past, but like that actually, they like came through. So, yeah. Those are all of the important updates. I'm done with the school term. Things are going good. I got straight A's. I'm really good at school, for those who don't know. I'm like book smart, I guess. So yeah, I got straight A's. I'm done. I'm going to have a little break now for the holiday. I'll keep doing this podcast. I have a song that I wrote that I'm kind of proud of that I'm going to share with you during the musical spotlight. And next week, I'm going to share with you some music from one of my professors, which is so cool. And it fucking rocks. So get ready for some amazing musical spotlights. And that's all for now. Let's move on to our advice segment. Alrighty. Welcome to the advice portion of our podcast. So let's get right into it. The first submission this week is an anonymous caller that asked, Queer Abbey, I'm thinking about becoming a sex worker. I've been struggling financially, and I have a friend who does sex work. They told me that they make sometimes $1,000 per day doing camming and private videos for strangers. I'm thinking about doing this for a few months, and I'm aware of the risks that come with sex with strangers, and I will use protection. Okay, well, that's moving on to a new thing, side note. Because there's a difference between camming and like full on, fucking for money. But anyway, I currently don't have enough money for food or other basic necessities. I had to cut back on food for my 2 cats, and they hate me right now. I just want to make some money and get myself in a better situation as soon as possible. I also have a lot of debts. Oh. Well, me too, darling. That's how life is, isn't it? Where you're always trying to balance everything, feeding your 2 cats and paying your debt and paying for things for yourself. I understand the struggle of that. And my advice to you, though, is to be realistic because, well, focus yourself on what it is you're really, really thinking of doing, because camming and doing like private videos and then meeting with people, there's a lot of variety and like how safe that can be, right? Like doing online transactions with people, even that can be unsafe, like physically, but the odds that you would be like actually accosted or something really bad would happen to you are much lower. So be careful like interfacing or meeting up with like dudes. Really, that can be very sketchy. And ultimately you should only do these things if you kind of want to. I think that's the perfect world answer. I get that that's not really realistic. And the reason that most people do sex work is because they need money. I mean, that's the only reason that people work, really. It's deeper than that. I mean, it's definitely more complex than just saying that. And I don't think every person who does sex work is coerced into it. I'm sure not, it's something that I do because I need money, surely, right? But it's not something that makes me feel degraded. And both of those things can be true at the same time. So if that's true for you too, then that's perfectly fine. And if it helps you to make money, then I don't think there's any reason to put shame on it if you don't feel it, maybe start with camming, right? That's not really something that I do. I don't have time, but if you have time to kind of like hang out in a chat room and you have a webcam or you can get one and just any sort of communication skills whatsoever, you can make that happen for yourself. And that is a great way to make connections with people, to make money. I don't know how much money you can make just camming. Definitely not $1,000 a day. Your friend might be running with you. And that's the other thing you should be realistic about, Queen, is that I don't think that you're going to make $1,000 a day, no matter who you are. $1,000 a month, attainable for sure. But $1,000 a day, not quite so much. So just meter your expectations, okay, about what is going on in the financial department with the sex work. If you were like sucking, 10 dicks in a day, that's fair. $1,000 a day, reasonable, but not on the internet, just like chilling in a chat room. Or maybe I'm just doing it wrong, to be honest. Maybe I'm a dumbass. So ask your friend about that one. Moving on to the next question. Ooh, this is kind of related. My ex is taunting me with sexual videos of me from years ago. Yikes. Today, my ex randomly texted me on a social media app. He ranted, but in a joyful way, that he's glad he knew me and acted as if we were closer to each other than we really are. Then he thanked me for putting up with him, in quotes. After this, he did something really weird, and I think it's on purpose. He attached a mortifying Snapchat clip of myself from years ago when I was 18 and 19 years old. He had to scroll very far to find that, as it's from almost 7 years ago. The weirdest part about this is the video is of myself and another man, not him. The man in a video is a man who I believe drugged me at a party. Oh my God, that's so dramatic. The man ended up groping me and kissing me and coercing me into posing nude for him. The videos are from the same night. All of that is behind me, and I never thought any of it would have ever resurfaced 7 years later. I'm literally shaking right now. I don't know what to do. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. That is a pretty mortifying situation to be in, and I understand your fear there. I mean, all I can really do is empathize. What I have to say is actions have consequences, and that's towards your ex, not you. People cannot do revenge porn legally, right? It's not legal to share around naked pictures of people without their consent. You need to have express consent from people to put naked pictures of them on the internet. You need to have a whole video documented contract and everything. It's verifiably illegal. So I think that there are agencies you can contact if you were afraid of your ex sharing these things on the internet or violating your privacy in that kind of way. You can literally contact the FBI. And I know that sounds really intimidating, but they're just people. And it's not like I like the government by any means, but that's literally their fucking job, is to do things like that. So contact the FBI, girl. Get the FBI on that motherfucker and say, hey, listen, this man has pictures of me from when I was maybe even a minor, 17 years old, and he's threatening to put them all over the internet. So if you could just go ahead and scrub them, that would be fantastic. And then see what happens from there. Maybe they'll SWAT his home. I'm just kidding. But that's a mortifying situation. Tell your ex that he's doing something illegal and that he's a bitch and that he should fuck off and die. That's probably what I would do. Nobody should. Here's one of my hot takes. I don't think that sending naked pictures of yourself is that wrong. And I don't think that it should be considered your fault when people share those pictures, because you're sending them in confidence. It's just like having sex with people and kissing and telling or anything like that. It's a contract between adults, and it's not okay to share that, and it falls on the person who's violating the privacy and the consent, not the person who is consensually sending pictures to somebody who is asking for them. You know what I mean? That's so fucking annoying, and it just goes to show that we love to blame, because the people who are usually demanding nudes from those people are men demanding nudes from women, who then punish them in the future for obliging these requests by sharing these nudes without consent, which is just absolutely abhorrent and disgusting. So yeah, great. Thanks for forcing women into these situations and coercing them to send you naked pictures and then punishing them for doing it for you. So classy and great. We love men. I Okay, let's read one more. One more prompt this evening. This one's a little bit more lighthearted. This one says, the sound of people chewing makes me feel violent, and I don't know how to get over it. I remember one time I was at the table eating dinner with my grandparents, and my grandpa was smacking so much I was beyond disgusted and I wanted to run out of the house. It's even worse at night and during the day because my older sister is always eating in our room, and the sounds are so disgusting they make me want to yell at her and rip my ears off. I hate coughing too. It annoys me so badly. Chewing is the worst though. I've cried literal tears over the sound before, like shut the fuck up, please. I need help on how to manage it. Well, anonymous caller, I appreciate that you were honest about this very primal annoyance that we experience in life. I can totally relate to this idea. I think that the word for this sensation is misophonia, when you just cannot stand or you feel anger with the sound of other people chewing. When I was a little kid, I think it really has a lot to do with having siblings, because it's so annoying to be forced to eat right next to other children for years of your life, and they just are like disgusting, right? And smacking their lips. And like, my brother is this Taurus man that, God bless his soul, would eat cereal like a fucking wood chipper when we were children, like just like spilling milk out of his mouth and smacking his lips. Love you, Scout. But he was like and like slurping the milk and stuff, and I swear to God that sound made me want to wring his neck. But yeah, I think I grew out of it. Like I literally never think about it anymore, unless somebody's like egregiously and aggressively like chomping on something and like being really obvious about like chowing down and stuff, you know, like, because like people eating just doesn't really gross me out. Like people eat, it's normal, it's natural. And I think I've learned to just assign less like I don't know, process, less ceremony to it. Eating is just eating. But maybe it has something to do with the structure of my brain. I have no idea. And I think it can be really overwhelming as well to like have the sound of people eating like just incessantly, and like you can't control it or turn it off, so it's just like irritating. My advice for you, just like you'd handle anything else in life where it just annoys the fuck out of you, you try to be present. Don't get in your head about it and freak out at them. Try to remember that they are just going about their life, and they have their own point of view, and they're not trying to ruin your life by chewing, right? They're obviously just trying to eat or whatever they're chewing on, and they have their own goal in mind, and it probably doesn't have to do with ruining your day. And so go about it in that way and ask for what you need. You know, if you know that it's something that's going to really piss you off, then maybe you can communicate that to your friends and loved ones, that like, okay, can you not like eat cereal when I'm in the room? Or can you let me know, this is a better one, can you let me know when you're going to eat something that's like crunchy so that I can just like go do my own thing for a while? And I think that's so fair and like not offensive. So you could totally navigate it in some way like that, right? Or earplugs. They exist. I have some sitting right next to me right now. They're underrated little items. So get yourself some earplugs, and when people start eating, then you can take that responsibility upon yourself to just like not have to hear it. Noise canceling headphones. Maybe you learn to do some sort of anatomical freakish thing where you like make some sort of noise with the cartilage in your ear, and so you do that when people are eating and you don't have to hear it. There you go. There's a solution. And I think that's really all the brain power that I have. I'm about to drop dead. So let's wrap it up for this week and get into our little musical spotlight. I'm excited to share one of my own original songs with you. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. I want you to prepare your butthole for a song that I wrote that was inspired by my learning this term. I am taking two classes in particular that were very impactful for me this term. I was trying to say very and really at the same time. Very impactful for me this term. They are my women's studies class, ecofeminism, and my senior capstone, what I was talking about doing the volunteering and such. It's called Indigenous Healing and Education. And I've just been really, sounds so hippy dippy, but like connecting with the earth this term and learning about how humans are a part of a much larger cycle than we like to consider. We are not the center of the earth and humanity and life, or not humanity, but we are the center of humanity, but that's it. You know, humanity is not the center of the universe. Everything is vast and not purposeless. You know, like we like to pretend like humans are this plague to the earth, but we're not. We are literally a functional part of the earth, and we have the choices to participate in it in a like a constructive and functional way, and we just don't. You know, we have all these people with a fuck ton of money that just have no perception of what they're doing, I think, or they do or they don't care, to like the ocean and the forests, deforesting and polluting the ocean and adding plastic to it and letting the ocean heat up and letting species go extinct, blocking salmon from migrating properly. All of these fucking things are examples of us destroying the earth. And it has this unpredictable ripple effect that is, global warming is just a symptom of it, or climate change, the natural disasters that we're seeing, because when the ocean is warmer and the atmosphere is still cold, it's going to cause an uptick in hurricanes and precipitation and things like that. Like the weather will become more unpredictable and violent. And who's to say about the continuing effect of the damage that we've done to the ecosystem? But it will be okay, because the universe was here before us and it will continue long after us. So like, fuck all, right? Like, I care because I'm a human being and I live right now, but like ultimately everything's gonna be okay. So, okay, this hippy dippy rant I went on because I wrote a song about all of that. And it's from the perspective of the earth, right? I'm singing as Mother Nature, and I wanted to express all of the sides of Mother Nature. Mother Nature is a mother, right? And maybe she's a father too. She's everything. She's everything that we can see and everything that we can touch. And I think that she would like to remind us gently and sternly at the same time that she is our mother, you know, and that we're fucking up by doing this damage to the ecosystem. And so I wrote these lyrics that are like sort of a reminder, sort of a scolding in a way. One of my favorite lines is, "You can't just eat your cash, so you better think fast." The kind of paired up part in the other verse is, "You can't just bury sin and expect to bear fruit." These sentiments are saying that, you know, you have to be less short-sighted about the effects and consequences of your actions, especially when it comes to the earth that we live on. Because if you poison the food and you poison the well that we all drink from, then we all die. You know, it's not, nobody wins in that situation. So I wrote a song called Until It's Gone. That's the title, and it's funky, and I hope you love it. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to show you the entire thing. This is the exclusive premiere of Until It's Gone. Enjoy. And repair with the best intentions. I'm paving she should just be grateful. And great hair, 'cause I'm just feeling kindly. I'll let you breathe my air. Bountiful harvest wonder about this hex you're under. You can't just eat your cash, so you better think fast. I'm feeling sort of restless from eating up your messes. I think it's high time that you should know why. Oh, I am, we are, she should just be grateful. All right, y'all. What do you think? I am proud of this song. There you go. Period. I'm proud of it. I like the production, and I think that I sound okay singing. I was kind of in a rush to finish it, but despite all that, it doesn't matter. I think I'm getting better every day, and I really enjoy my little craft of making music. So that's good stuff. Good medicine. Fuck yeah. A little bit about the song, like the production of it and stuff. The first thing I thought of was that the opening bass line, the ostinato that just repeats over and over again on the bass. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, 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 ba-da, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. That just loops over and over again. I thought of that, and it got stuck in my head, and I thought, well, that's got to be a song now. And that happens sometimes where I think of a nice little loop like that. And so I made it into a bass line. And then I added some drums. I thought I'll sing like an intro and then kind of like kick in the drums and give it that nice like drop feel. And I kind of got a little funky, right? Like that, like kind of very laid back, funky vibe from the bass line that I wrote, and then everything just blossomed from there. I knew that thematically I wanted it to be a statement about how we treat the earth, but not too like self-masturbatory or like, you know, serious, indulgent, like, Earth Mother, she's so mad. Oh, Mother, we worship you. Earth, wind, fire, water. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to include those elements of like the cardinal elements and making literal references to the earth, but not in such a corny way. Because I think a lot of the music that's inspired by like paganism or ecofeminism can be a little bit, like that, like a little self-indulgent or just like annoying. So I would love to make music for witches. For real. Like gay witch pop. That's my genre, I think. And it doesn't mean just because stuff's about stuffy subjects, but mythology or witchcraft or anything doesn't mean it has to be bad. You know, you got to get some good musicians on all of that. And yeah, so yeah, there's bass. The little sound that's like kind of like poppy, like octopus rings that happens when it's going into the chorus. That's a kalimba, which is really fun. And there's also a viola that's like plucking along with it. So yay. All of these are MIDI instruments. I don't actually own a kalimba or a viola. I don't even own a bass. So thanks to the magic of music software, I'm able to transmit the signal from my piano into the sounds of these instruments. And yeah, thank you for indulging me while I talk about my song and my little artwork. And thank you for listening. That's pretty much it. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoyed my song. If y'all have a song that you would like to be featured on here, or a question, query, inquiry, anything like that, you are welcome to reach out using you can send your questions to the anonymous inbox that's linked in the description, or you can reach out to me using the phone number or email. The phone number for Queer Abbey is 503-567-2053, while the email is queerabbey@gmail.com. That's queerabbey@gmail.com. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. I appreciate you, and I love you. I love you, bitch. See you next week.